I'd like to call this meeting of the City of Laredo Fine Arts and Culture Commission to order. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is over here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And you could do us a favor and do roll call?
Yes, sir. Maritza Bautista,
Present.
Melissa Amici,
Present.
Gail Akers Rodriguez,
Present.
Armando Lopez, Dr. Marta Villarreal.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Do we have any citizens' comments?
I just wanted to invite everyone here to the Mira Media Festival, which I gave everyone a postcard. This is a really special festival. It centers border narratives, and it has been a labor of love. Daphne Art Foundation, which is the organization that I run, is going to be one of the main organizers, and it's going to be at the Laredo Center for the Arts, which has everybody's heart. It's an all-day fest, so there's a lot to do. There's going to be art explorations. We're inviting the community to do silk screening. We are going to have an exhibition. A part of it, I think I already said that, is there's a free communal dinner. Actually, the entire event is free. It includes filmmakers from the border, but it was also open to anybody in the world. So we do have international films a part of the festival as well. And we commissioned local artists to produce a short film, which we will present along with a live performance by one of the duos and a panel. So I hope, if you can't go, I hope you can tell your friends and family, because it's a really beautiful opportunity to support artists in our community. That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
I also just want to announce that we have our first show of the year, 2024 Yard Acquisition Project for the Laredo Center for the Arts. Bruce Ortiz, who's an artist and an activist that is, he's a painter, but he also does printmaking, so we will be doing printmaking workshops. While he's here, we have the opening reception Friday, March 1st from 6 to 9 at the center. So it should be a really good time. And so the center is very busy. We're really excited to also be sponsoring this event with Daphne and bringing all of this, these wonderful things to our community. It's really great, Maritza, what you're doing over there. Thank you.
We're doing it together.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Okay, I would just,
No, go ahead. No.
I wanted to just tell you about something that's happening, as Gail mentioned, at the gallery tomorrow. It is a slam, but it's also put together, I'm looking for the poster that I have here. It is put together by many of the advocacy groups on the border. It's called Poetas for Frontera Resistance. Where Slam will be hosting a night of resistance and solidarity, celebrating generational perseverance as we stand united against the injustices our immigrant community is facing across Texas. It's put together by Laredo Border Slam with Texas Immigration Law Council, Local Progress Texas, and we're going to actually have a slam with a theme, border theme, and then yours truly and one of the applicants, Ms. Lua Gaby Mary Sue, we're going to be featured presenters of poetry that night. It starts at 7:30. That's the sign up. We're going to River Slam. We never start on time, so I figured that the poets will go on about 8:30 or 9.
This is when, tomorrow?
Tomorrow evening at Gail's
Yeah.
Gallery Tour.
Yeah.
Mhm. And so, if you want to hear a saladito version of what we think is going on out there, I was just telling that Melissa about that. I don't know if you all heard that Paxton sued a nonprofit, Catholic nonprofit who provides shelter to people seeking asylum and their children. And it's So, and then you saw President Trump saying that when he took office, he would do mass deportations like Operation Wetback in the 1950s.
Oh, my God.
So, we gotta, this is starting to get scary, so hopefully, I think all of these events that are going on, I think Laredo's become the focus, the center of a lot of this stuff. I don't know if anybody read today the Express News, but there was a British diplomats that came and met with City of Laredo leaders and no Laredo leaders. And I didn't see any publicity about that, but they apparently met, discussed with them, and get an idea of what was happening on the border. And that group mixed in business leaders as well to clarify that the image that being portrayed out there by the media is not accurate at all.
Not at all.
So, anyway, all right,
Okay.
let's move on.
I just wanted to inform the commission that we have a vacancy for District 2. Mr. David Cash Vasquez is no longer with the commission. We've received a letter from City Secretary to send out to him his termination. We are waiting for Mr. Ricardo Rangel to appoint someone.
So does this mean, I'm sorry, does this mean now that there's 4? I don't know, I wasn't here at the last meeting, but
Yes,
last time I was
vacancies.
here, there were 3, yeah,
Yes.
vacancies.
Do you wanna tell
Okay.
them the ones that are?
Oh, the ones that are vacant, for the mayor, we have a vacancy.
Mhm.
We also have on District 2, Pablo Rangel, District 5, Ruben Gutierrez, and District 7, Vanessa Perez.
Okay.
Why haven't they nominated?
What was Vanessa's district secretary?
7, Vanessa Perez. They haven't. Well, we're just waiting and see. I sent a reminder tomorrow to their secretaries to see if they're gonna be appointing someone soon.
Okay.
That's all I.
We need to find people.
Yeah, we do.
I've been talking about it.
So have I, even asked Gabriel, because he's
He
in
was
another.
on it, he was on it at the very beginning.
And Mr.
Poncho
Arciniega.
Santos,
Poncho Santos Arciniega.
me, Joe Arciniega, Gabriel.
Yeah, I got George and Jerry.
I can't remember the rest. It was the very beginning.
Yeah.
We were meeting at the office upstairs of the Greyhound bus.
The great house, yes, there was a community development,
That's where we would
yes.
meet.
Uh-huh.
¿Quién más estaba? No me acuerdo.
Gabriela Mendoza.
Oh, the dancer.
Gabriela Mendoza and,
No, yes, Gutierrez.
Oh, Yolanda Gutierrez.
Well, she was here, she.
Yeah, she stayed for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yolanda just got off not too long ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, she was on from the beginning too. I can't remember who else. Anyway, this thing about what's going on in Texas, I just want to make a comment. Because I'm a U.S. Customs broker, and so we're the largest port in the United States. We used to be the largest inland port, now we are the largest port. And we surpassed already Los Angeles and New York, which are the two biggest ports. First in value and then in amount of cargo that's crossing or entering the country. So the governor of the state of Texas, because he has this thing about the migrants and all this stuff, he decided that the Department of Public Safety, DPS, would check every trailer that comes in.
Which is ridiculous.
Now, they are not allowed to check the inside of the trailer. They're only allowed to determine if the trailer is safe and the tractor is safe. They're not allowed to inspect the cargo. But the excuse was that the migrants were being smuggled in and drugs were being smuggled. Well, not really the drugs, it was more about the migrants. But they can't, and even drugs, they can't check inside. But it stopped the traffic. This was several months ago. And then he did it in Del Rio and another port. And so it was chaos. So then finally they stopped in Laredo, but then they did it in downriver, I think in Del Rio, because it's a smaller port. So, but these are the kind of things that are going on, you know, in our state. And
That's why we
frustrating.
have to vote.
Yeah, very frustrating.
And it's not their job, it's the federal government's job.
Exactly.
But it, you know, again, it just says that his numbers spike. His poll numbers spike when he makes the rest of Texas feel like they're being invaded. Okay, item 5 is minutes. You have before you the minutes for the meeting of January 18, 2024. If you've had a chance to read them, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Melissa, seconded by Martha. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Updates on current park projects, the Lafayette Bridge painting and lighting public park project.
I hope that you received my second email regarding this.
Mhm.
So, at the city council meeting, they approved the contract for implementation. So they're moving forward with that. Probably Ms. Batista can speak a little bit more about the artist selection. But I did send you the list of the committee members and the artists that were selected.
And we had representatives on that committee, correct?
Yes,
So
it was.
I did sit on that committee. I believe there were over 40 applicants
Wow.
around there. Really incredible, talented people. A lot of the applicants did not live in Laredo or even in Texas. So those were, we kind of disregarded them. But at the end, after doing several interviews, so much talent out there, we recommended Alexandra Barron. Do you want me to mention her?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Because you're gonna have to approve the selection.
Right.
It's Gilbert
I don't
Rocha.
remember, yeah.
No, Gilbert Rocha.
Yeah. Gil Rocha, Alexandra Barron, Jesus Alvarado, who's actually an artist that's based in El Paso, and
Ana.
Ana Hernandez, yes, who is not based in Laredo either. She's in San Antonio.
She's from Laredo.
Was she,
She's from Laredo, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
from Laredo, but she's based in San Antonio. So those were our 4 recommendations to the team.
Do I hear a motion to recommend those artists to the Laredo City Council?
This Maurice.
So,
Moved by Martha,
Second.
second by Melissa. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you for your work on the committee.
Are they, how did they decide they were going to use all those different artists? Because remember it was supposed to be, maybe
Right.
it was all gonna be the same, the
Right.
pillars, or maybe it was gonna be individual, or
Right.
so what was the decision?
So Up Art Studio were commissioned for this project, and so they're bringing on Laredo artists. They weren't sure if they were just gonna hire one artist, but after talking to everybody, because it's such an intensive project, it's like an everyday thing for 3 months. Because of the artist availability, they decided to do it like in phases. So they're gonna have, basically of the artist assistants that we recommended, they're gonna have like 2 lead from that group, and then the others are gonna be assistants to the assistants. And they're gonna come in like in different times. So like they're gonna say like, for example, Ana, who lives in San Antonio. She's a parent, she's a full-time, artist, but she did say she wouldn't be able to commit for every day because she would have to leave her family. So what they said is maybe we can invite her to come in at this phase, and that way it'll be something that she can manage and handle. So they're able to extend the opportunity to other artists. So that's why we recommended 4.
Who is doing the overall design, or how is that
The
going
overall
to be
design
decided?
is being done by Up Art Studio. And
Okay.
actually, I don't know if it's on here, but on Sunday, they already announced there's gonna be a community engagement. And at this community event, they're going to show them the designs that are there, and they're gonna select or make recommendations of what they would wanna see. I mean, I don't exactly know how that engagement's gonna happen, but I believe that they're gonna be working with some of the artists, like all the artists were invited that were selected. And they're gonna like work with the community members and they're gonna kind of get ideas, sketch them out. But pretty much the design is already made. It's really beautiful also. The ones that Elia showed us the day of her presentation, they evolved beyond that. So really, really beautiful designs. So we'll see.
So what kind of input will the community have if the design is done and it's
They
all
are
picked?
having, she mentioned an engagement session with the community this Sunday, and I'm sure that will be maybe the first of many. I did notice I got the invitation, so I will forward it to you all.
But what exactly will the community get
Okay,
to do?
so for
Yeah.
example, the overall design is made, but they're gonna have like, for example, I think like one was La Loteria.
Right.
And then they designed another one that's like textiles and fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna give them the option. I don't remember, I think there's a third one, but I don't remember right now. So they're gonna basically say like what resonates the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in each of the columns, they want to create symbology that, you know, that the community relates to. So I think that is what the community is gonna say.
Have input in.
Yeah, they're gonna have input to say like, sí, pues las ranas, or whatever, right?
We saw those.
She
Right.
had something sample.
Yeah, there's some.
Very pretty.
Very nice, yeah.
But you said they evolved, they're still.
Yeah, they evolved beyond what we
I
saw.
bet you they're pretty.
They're beautiful. The designs are beautiful. Like that area is gonna change completely after this mural is up. It's
Yeah.
gonna look incredible.
And then with the lights and everything else,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be great.
Okay, so please communicate to City Council our action tonight and our thanks to the committee members who worked hard.
I'm sure they're gonna go before then, after they hone in on the design. But, yes, this Sunday from 3 to 6 at the Lafayette Bridge,
Yeah,
it's gonna be community engagement and they welcome the commission to go.
right. And they're gonna have a carne asada.
Oh,
Everything is happening
There's gonna be
this
Wow,
weekend.
everything's happening this weekend.
Maybe I'm not going out of town.
And she is trapped, I think they are gonna be here. Up Studio's
Yeah,
gonna be.
they are gonna be here this weekend, correct.
Okay, item B, the tourist murals project.
Just to let you know that the RFP is out. It is due on March 8th and you do have a copy. They are gonna have an informational meeting for artists here at the library on the 28th. Let me see if I can find the time.
Now, I have a question, because, and I don't even know how this was decided, but under the budget, there's different sizes, well, it doesn't really specify sizes, but it's like, for example, small murals up to 500.
Yeah, they discussed that with us last time. Huh?
Like, what are the sizes?
It was based on the public space that was available.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I
It's
don't
just,
know that's included in here.
But they did present that to us the last time that we were here.
oh, I
because-
don't know,
because-
I
because-
wasn't here.
Because there was like, the same exact question came, I don't remember from which board member, but it was about, I think it was Mr. Vasquez, but it was about how they chose to divvy it up like that, and then they showed us some slides of like some areas, some wall, because they have to approach a private business member,
Right,
and their wall space was smaller.
right.
And
Yeah,
they're all
you do
different
have
sizes.
a little map, I don't know how much you can,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but
saw
it
that
had
map
the
the last
addresses.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
there's some addresses too.
and it showed, and I mean, we were saying, oh yeah, that wall is small, or this one is bigger, or whatever.
I just feel like this needs to be more specific, but I guess at this point we can't really say anything about it.
Maybe
It's
at
not
the informational meeting that they're gonna have, they can,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's not really our project, it's CHERS, it's directing it, but I think we can make those recommendations, and I think Gail and,
Well, we're on the
the three of us.
Yeah,
are-
We're
yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
be on that committee.
Yeah, I think those are questions that we can ask, and I think there's also Miriam, right, that.
it was Miriam, that's the other director.
Yeah, that would be-
And she answered those questions because the board had those, the commission had those specific questions about how they decided to go and who
Right,
and why. And so they showed us examples, some slides
okay.
of the public areas that they were trying to have, and they had already done the engagement with the business owners.
Mhm. They
about
needed to
doing-
get.
And what kind of space it
Okay,
was afforded to us for that. Oh, to the church.
okay.
Okay, moving on to item number 7, which are possible action items. Number 1, first one is City of Royal Port Laureate. fiscal year 24-25.
And I did get everybody's scoring sheets, and the highest scoring one was Raquel Baez Sentis.
Okay, good.
Okay, and
Well, I kind of feel that.
well, I am gonna try to put it on city council at the next meeting. I know they might be canceling the first March meeting because they're going to Washington. So it might be the 18th, but I'll let y'all know. It'll be after our meeting, I think, maybe.
I think that's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
So, I guess, that was the highest scoring. I guess if you could vote to make that as the recommendation to city council.
I move that we recommend Raquel Baez Centias as the next poet laureate.
I second
Based on the
that.
score,
So
right?
proud of her.
Based on this.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next to the utility box art program.
And this was an item that was requested by Ms. Amici. Yes.
And was there follow-up with the traffic department to see what, you know, if there was the option of painting versus the wrapping?
That is up to you. I mean, I don't think they're the ones to decide how.
They're just saying we can either wrap them.
That's an option that he sent me.
Or we can paint them,
Mhm.
and they have to be paint that is
Right.
not going to overheat.
Heat up the
Yeah.
box.
So
So
I
I
guess
don't
it's
know
up
how
to
you
us.
wanna proceed with this, if you wanna make a presentation to city council.
Yes,
if you-
I think whatever we need to do to get it going, because we've been talking about it for
Yeah.
going on a year.
Yeah.
And I know it's a project that every district representative is really
Mhm.
excited about. So whatever we need to do, I mean, right, is that what we
What do
want
we need to
guys?
do? I think what we need
You,
to do.
you did get the map and maybe scope out, areas.
Right, we have the map from the
Mhm. I had
prior
given you the
meeting.
map.
But also, we need to really decide how we want to decorate them. Is it gonna be a wrap, or is it gonna be paint?
I think it was pretty clear that we didn't want to do the
We didn't
wrap.
wanna do the
We didn't
wrap,
wanna do
okay.
the
I
wrap. And
remember
I've
that.
spoken with my council, woman about it, and she's not excited about the wrap. That I think we all really wanted the
artist to
the
paint,
art,
yeah, okay.
and have that whole be an interactive part. I
Right.
think the other thing we were gonna look at was how many in each district. Are we sticking with 3? And were we gonna try to, and I don't know if this is a decision we make, that we try to line them up in some way? Would there be like an actual tour of them that you
Oh,
could
I see.
take? Or
Mhm.
are we just gonna pick hotspots in our district? Like, that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how we would approach.
And it's up to you as members to recommend the locations, so.
So we need to all get together in a van and drive around. There you go.
Well, I mean, I think if it's really that, I mean, well, you represent which district though?
Tyler King.
Okay,
North.
well, you help me with 3 and I'll help you with
Yeah, yeah, no.
because we're right there. And then
I
don't know.
would really like to drive around, honestly,
Yeah.
that's not a joke. I'd love to drive around and see where they are, because if it's one obscure place, why?
Yeah.
You need the
Visibility.
people to, yeah,
So
exactly, so
where
we
does-
really do.
Where does District 1, who's representing District, we don't have some, yeah, who's representing
One?
District 1?
Who is that?
Gilbert Sanchez,
That's
I'm sorry,
mine.
Gonzalez.
That's
Oh,
mine.
it's you?
Mhm.
Where is that? Where is that?
That's, South Laredo,
at?
yeah, close to Century City and areas like that.
Okay.
Do you know of any areas over there right now, or should we really, I mean,
Well,
we
there's,
can
I
look.
mean, there's how should I say, the area that's developed,
Mhm.
you know, Century City and all the areas around United South, Middle, and those have some very visible ones, but the traffic there is, it's not, what's the word? It's all traffic to the schools.
Mhm.
And then you have areas like on the loop and stuff like that that are more visible to the public. So I think I probably need to reach out to him and ask him what he prefers.
And that might be an option.
Because if it's in the neighborhood, it's beautification,
Right.
you know, if it's in the main thoroughfares, it's kind of, what's the word? It's a different kind of beautification.
Public art.
Yeah, it's like public art.
It's not necessarily neighborhoods. Well, I don't know if we can incorporate this also in our part with the Azteca Coalition that we're working on, I mean, the coalition for the Zacatecas. I wonder if we can't incorporate one of these to start a project, like have that be a part, have one of those electric boxes in that area that we're targeting so that we can kind of maximize what we're trying to do in that area with this coalition and it would be city kind of support.
Is that the Azteca neighborhood?
Not the, well, I don't know, but Marita knows better because they've been working on it longer, but we just joined them in a coalition that's this
Yeah.
Zacatecas Creek or the community.
Well, Zacatecas Creek,
Yeah.
Zacatecas
Zacatecas
Creek.
threw me off, yes.
It's
Zacatecas.
right,
Oh,
it's
sorry,
like
sorry.
the Azteca and then,
Yeah, it goes
Right.
all the way, it's,
I know.
Zacatecas Creek is our longest linear park. So 5 different neighborhoods intersect with it, yeah, that would be really cool.
And then
if,
we can, yeah.
if we did do that, but yeah, I think we would decide, right? So we can recommend them.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
just to get on the same page.
And I don't know if you wanna do all the districts right now, or maybe recommend a few, let them see what it looks like,
Yeah.
and start with those. If you can identify places in your district.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm District 8.
I think it would be nice to see the whole thing starting at the same time, and the other part of that would be to recommend artists from those districts. But I
Yeah.
think a citywide project, because I think that this commission, it would be really good for this commission to show a big project of doing something.
Yes,
Because I think it's been a while since
we've been like doing nothing for years.
Right,
It's been.
it feels like that, I mean, I know that the baby steps, and I know that just having a commission was a
Right.
big deal, but I, the idea when we first started talking about it was making a big splash in the city, letting people see that,
Right.
that this, we do have this commission, that we are looking, so I personally would like to see that we initiate the project and all districts work.
And it
you
was
know, at the
still,
same time.
the idea is still that each person, the representative of each person, city council member of each district was doing with discretionary funds. Wasn't that what we had talked about?
There's plenty of funds left over in our reserves and our coffers from years past, so we don't even have to do that yet. And yeah, there's a lot of.
What funds do we have?
The public art.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch.
But the public art funds are designated for what?
Public art.
Well,
Public art.
No,
I
no.
would, now that we're saying this, like, I really do think that we need to go back to the master plan.
Yes.
Because I have the same questions, like, I'm just curious to know, there's so much money.
What
and
are they doing with
I
it?
do agree, and there's nothing.
Nothing.
And I feel like one of our main, like,
Purposes,
responsibilities,
yes.
yeah, is to identify these big
Yes.
projects that we can do in
And,
the city.
and that is the mind of the city manager.
Right.
Like, that's what the commission is for, to recommend projects.
Mhm.
The money was not, divvied up like it was the first year,
Right.
it's just there.
And I don't
right
think
now.
it's gonna happen anymore,
Yeah.
but we have to go back to the plan.
That's
Yeah.
how we got to this point. You know,
Right.
this is where we started talking about it, that's why we're at this point. So I think, yes, you know, going back to, we even had them come in and talk about the master plan with us when we started this, when we initiated this project, when Mr. Mendez was here, and I forget who one of the, Jesse Shaw. Yeah, Jesse was also really, so I would like us to see this, that's 2024, to see us move on this project.
We really do.
And I think we have done that groundwork, we have looked at what that is, that's not even gonna absorb, or not even make a dent in the funds that are available
I
to
know.
us. And the concern is, the longer the money sits there, the more likely somebody's gonna say, they don't need it anyway, so why are we even
It's
doing
happened.
this? And we have to prove, we are the advocates for the arts here,
Mhm.
we have to get out there, we've gotta push it, and not
Dilly-dally.
Yeah, any
I
more than we
completely
already
agree.
have, yeah.
I completely agree, but I do think that we need to, look at the master plan to see, because if this project's been in the works for a year and it still hasn't kicked off, I feel like we need to start discussing the next
Well, I think it's
project.
because we have to make it happen.
Right.
It's up to us to make it happen. It's
So
up
let's
to
make
us
it
to
happen.
go. We have to go to the city council and tell them, okay, this is what we've decided for each
Yeah.
district. We don't
Right.
want wraps, we wanna do
Right.
this. And now where's this money coming from?
Right, but we have that in our coffers, and we have, there have been steps, but just so you understand too, Marty, it's a very slow process. Like,
Yeah.
traffic had to come in, and traffic had to talk about it, and do their research, and make their recommendations, and, I mean, to get to this point, I feel like we're there, and,
Yeah,
I
time
would
to
like us
jump
to, next
off the
steps,
bridge,
make the
so to
recommendation
speak.
to city council that this is what we've all individually spoken with our council
Yeah, he
representatives
was
about it.
willing to do discretionary funds
Yeah.
if we didn't have the money, so.
Right,
And
right,
you know
and so is
what, it's
Melissa.
also a good incentive to get all the other
people
Yes.
that have,
People that
yes,
don't have,
representatives.
because we're gonna say, we're gonna count on you, we're gonna
Right.
ask your person,
Right.
you know, to
Yeah.
jump in and be part of this. Nobody
Right.
wants to be left behind.
Right,
So
right.
this is a good incentive.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, but, because I was off for a few months and then came back,
Mhm.
well, actually a couple of years. But wasn't part of the master plan that the city was gonna have somebody assigned as a director or manager of that?
It was recommended, but it was not funded for this year.
Okay,
It was
because
not
they were
funded.
supposed to designate somebody to make sure that the master
Right.
plan was being
Right.
moved
Implemented.
forward, implemented.
Which is the
And
biggest
that's
problem
why-
with the commission, that's why everything falls through the
Right.
cracks. We don't have a department that we report to, like.
It was gonna be Parks and Recs, through Parks and Recs.
That
Or
was one of
keep-
them mentioned, Eileen's Convention Visitors Bureau, Engineering,
Yeah.
Environmental, all of
Keep
them.
Laredo Beautiful,
Keep
one of
Laredo
those.
Beautiful
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
And that's, if you had someone, you're gonna have to maybe hire Up Studio to do it.
But see, that's the thing too, is that like, we get caught in this this cycle of never being able to have local people because we don't get it developed. Like, I'm hopeful with these, I think one of the things that appealed to me about the Up Studios contract was that they were gonna be providing some training to these artists so that they will not be, not making those meeting the requirements. So I think something like that, like pushing for those kinds of things and.
So when are budget, when is budget time? So, I mean,
Usually,
because obviously if it doesn't get
Budget
on the
hearings
radar.
are in September, but, April is the time to
Okay,
push for
so
that.
maybe as an organization, I mean, as a board, we can ask that in their budget, recommendations for the next fiscal year, that they include the recommendation to have a city employee or whoever
Mhm.
assigned to implement the master plan with the input from the.
And she
Yeah.
did provide a copy of a job description with the master
Right.
She
plan.
did, yeah.
Everything is in there.
That was a really good idea. Do we
And
need to
don't think
vote
I
for
didn't
that?
ask,
No, no,
when
I know.
it was my turn the libraries,
Mhm.
I did bring it up, but it's very hard to get a FTE.
Full-time employee?
Yes.
So,
A
do we
new
need to make a
FTE.
motion for something like that, or
We
take
probably
action?
should.
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to authorize our liaison with the city, that's you, right? Anya?
Mhm.
To request that in the
And the-
budgeting process beginning in April, that the position for the manager of the master plan be included in the city's budget for the next fiscal year.
For the
Did I hear a motion?
I see, yes.
Ms. Bautista?
Yeah,
Is there a second?
Second.
Melissa? All those in favor?
Did so whatever he said.
Yeah, okay.
And then do we need another motion to move this
So
towards
that's
city
the
council
lawyer
so they know what it is we want, so they can recommend
The
it?
utility box?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yes.
And Melissa Cigarra has said also that she would, bring it forth to the council
Um,
if she wants.
Whenever we go for the poet laureate, you're gonna be there,
Okay.
hopefully.
What is that date, so I can make sure?
I'm thinking it's gonna be the 18th, March 18th.
March 18th.
March 18th, okay. Yes, so then we can make
I
all
don't
of
know
that
if
at
you,
that
do you wanna
time.
make, I need to request a spot for you all.
Mhm.
Do you want, to make a presentation or to speak on it, or?
Yes, I
Yes.
think we're there, we're ready.
Are you gonna have a presentation for the utility boxes by then, or?
I don't know if we're gonna have a presentation, but maybe we could just talk about
Talk
it. Maybe
about
we
it.
can identify already some of the spots.
The sites?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the sites.
Yeah, I think it would be nice by that time to be able to say, you have in your packet before you,
Mhm.
recommendations that you as council have made for the locations of these,
Mhm.
This is yours.
gathered by your representative on the Fine Arts Commission.
Yeah.
We can include examples or.
Yeah, and then maybe you can send us an approximation of how many per district.
We have a map,
I know we have a map, but by district.
but
so-
does it,
No,
it's
there's
not divided.
tons, but you decided to maybe 3 per district to start out with?
That would be cool.
And then just to remind the commission of how much funding we have and from what years, I mean, is that from 2021 that we still have funding?
We still have some from 2019, because some of the council members did
Oh,
not
yeah,
use
yeah.
it was like 40 something.
Yeah.
But I have given that before
Yes,
to you
yes, yes,
from
we have.
from the finance department.
I just for Marita that wasn't here, just so she that, and I don't know if Manda was here when we
Yeah,
were doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So then,
Budget.
Yes, yeah.
No, there's a lot of money.
Right, yeah, and that's why I said we need to use it, you know, we
Yeah.
need to use it and,
Yeah, absolutely.
and start making our neighborhoods, yeah, great, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it on the agenda.
So, I do wanna bring up another point about this, cause, I don't even know, like, if we can do anything about Caminarte, but I feel like, something is missing in downtown Laredo too, to just work as a signifier. Like, I feel like, because there's no, nobody managing Caminarte either, I don't even know the history behind it.
It was
I
managed
don't know
by
how it
by
started.
the,
Able City?
Cultural district.
no,
No, it was before before
CBB?
cultural district.
yes,
The,
convention and business,
No, it wasn't
they
coming out.
started the
Is it
Caminarte.
our-
so what happened?
So
Yeah.
it was
No, but
started by them, and we had meetings in their office, and so it was only the Center for the Arts, my gallery, the Heritage Museum, and La Posada if they had something, okay? So we even had like standing placards that you could put outside and Gallery 201, Caminarte, and whatever. And we would have the meetings, and we would all say, okay, this is my invitation, this is what I'm doing on Caminarte, blah, blah, blah. And there was one email, one Facebook thing, one Instagram that mentioned everything, right? All different people in Caminarte. And there were people coming, we did have people, it wasn't as well attended as now, because there was
Right.
nothing on 8th Street, there was nothing really else, and then in the hotter months, people, you know, you're walking around and stuff. And then it just kind of, like, they stopped having the meetings with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and so then Rosie started just doing Caminarte, and so then I was like, wait, it's not just the Center for the Arts, it's supposed to be all of us.
Right.
And so, and I kind of called the Convention and Visitors Bureau and said, well, aren't you all doing the Caminarte? Don't include us all, no, put us all in there. And I don't know what happened, and it just kind of stopped. And then we started again, but it's not Convention and Visitors Bureau anymore, it's just now the Laredo Cultural District
Right.
is kind of organizing it, so to speak. But they're busy.
Yeah, but I feel like they're not. I mean, and this is not
That they're not
criticism.
organizing. I mean, I know what you're saying. So do we need a group? Do we need to say, this is the Caminarte group, and if you want to be included in the Caminarte walk or whatever, let us know. Before this ever happened, I organized with La Posada. At the time it was, Tito wasn't there, it was the guy before him, and I can't remember his name. Do you remember his name? He wasn't from Laredo, but he was, Steven, I can't remember. Anyway, we organized an art walk. And so it was La Posada, and it was the Center for the Arts, and it was Gallery 201, and was there another place? I don't remember. But it was in the summer, and we got a trolley car to take the people all to the different venues. So you could get on the trolley car at the Center for the Arts, and they would drive you to La Posada and then come around and leave you to Gallery 201, and it would just keep going. And so it was really hot, right? Because we did it in the summer. But that was such a cool idea, and we had a lot of people at Caminarte.
So who would fund
And it wasn't a Caminarte, it was, we called it a Laredo Art Walk, downtown Laredo Art Walk.
Right, right.
But we organized that without any money, just with getting permission from the city to get a trolley bus, one of the buses, the cute trolley ones, to drive the people around, so they wouldn't.
In terms of the funding for that,
Right.
that lines up with the convention, I mean, because they're the ones that stand to gain from
Okay,
that.
so I think they might have been involved in that, okay, but that was the very first time we organized something like that, and it was really awesome. Why can't we do it again?
I feel like we need that.
So just so you know, that the cultural district is the one that brought back Caminante,
Yes.
and has made it what it is today.
They
And
did.
it's based on volunteers, there's no funding that we receive for
Right.
that. We don't even have an employee at the cultural
Right.
district.
I know,
So
it's all
Talissa's
volunteers.
Talissa's the one that would print up the maps, Talissa's the
Mhm.
one that makes the social media
Yes.
posts. Talissa does the call
Right.
for artists. We also just started Second Saturdays about 3 months ago, which I think focused more over down in La Frontera, Sandra Rota. Taylor's area. But there is participation from other downtown businesses in that. We do have the placards that are put out that say Caminarte for those that are participating. The center has one. Do you have yours? I know the cultural district has one. There are groups that have them, and so those, we do pull those out on Caminarte. They usually put up right in the front, and we are working. The last meeting that we had was working to talk to the city about getting a trolley or getting a golf cart or getting some sort of sponsorship, because now we've gone from where there was, Gail, from 35 people that were coming out to, well over 250, 300 people that come on the one night. But if if there is funding for the commission for this, that
I don't think
Couldn't we get third-party
any of the individual places has a problem doing what they do at their place. The problem is getting people to that.
Well, communicating it to the entire
No,
city.
I mean talking about transporting them.
Oh, right.
Because
Right.
because there's a part of the community that likes to walk and do
It's
stuff.
more
But-
fun,
but
but
there's a
just
lot-
the
a lot of
idea, it's
communities
just
that
the
don't
idea
have
that there's
When
a
it is
trolley,
fun.
it's just the
Yeah, it is
idea.
so cute.
Any little thing
Yeah.
you do that's kind of unique and fun is gonna make people wanna go. I mean, I imagine that people will park their car and have their kids and say, come on, let's get on the trolley and go to the art walk, because
The city has a little train.
Yes, it does.
You go to events at the
It's a
LEA,
Parks and Rec.
yeah, it's a Parks and Rec train. And,
Yeah.
and man, people line up like by the hundreds to take that little ride. Well, if that was there
Yeah.
and it just went doing the circle,
I mean,
That would be
these
so
are
cool.
things that we really need to get organized with and make it better, because we open up our doors. We're paying that electricity and everything, and if you get 5 people in, you're like, gee whiz,
Well, I really encourage you guys, if you have ideas on how to make it better, to come to the cultural district meetings.
When are
and
they? Because I
express
don't
those.
even know.
We meet once a month, and I can share that information with
Okay.
Maria, so that we
I
can
can
send it
send it out.
to the commission, and to listen to.
No, I do.
but how do we get the city and get that train out there?
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of us individually,
I think Convention and Visitors Bureau was the one who got us the trolley
Okay.
when we were doing the art walk, because we talked to somebody to get that trolley bus to go just around,
So,
San
Armando,
Bernardo,
couldn't
blah,
we tap the third-party funding to get some money to help us with this?
well, yeah, especially if it started at La Posada. Because it's
Because I know other
it's like,
organizations-
because there's some of the people that come to these events walk from the
Oh,
hotel.
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, they're tourists, and so if we could just, pitch it that way, that it would start there and then go to Cultural District
Yeah.
first, and then, go over to Gales, and then, just come,
Yeah.
It's
come
kind
around
of a
like that.
vuelta.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
an
it's a
easy vuelta. It's not hard.
So, third-party funding, how, through
Who
the
would
No,
commission,
but
apply?
they're just
so
separate?
I'm sorry, I'm talking about, hotel motel.
That's
Right.
third-party
Hotel
funding.
That's the
Okay,
third party
that's-
funding.
That's
Yeah.
a third-party.
That money is tied to people who come stay at hotels.
Right.
Okay.
So we start there, then we've covered that base,
Yeah.
and then once it goes to the other places, will people just jump on and keep on going?
And she
Yeah.
can,
Una pasada.
Eileen has mentioned that she can use money from that fund to fund art. That's allowed.
So
Fund
La
art?
Posada,
Art,
Or-
15%,
Yeah.
no, not La Posada,
no,
Convention.
no,
District.
sorry, what I was gonna say is La Posada participates in Caminarte too, so.
Right, that's what I'm
They do,
saying.
because they have art openings
Yeah.
now.
Right.
They
And
did
they've
it used to, but now
they've started them, they used to do them the Thursday before, but they've now included them in our, Friday night with Caminarte as of recent, like 3 or 4
Let me
months.
ask Eileen how that would work.
Right, because what I'm thinking, and this is again not a criticism on the Laredo Cultural District, I mean, I think y'all are doing a great job. But what I feel we need is a consistent look for Caminante. And this is what I feel like the city should be doing. Because we are promoting tourism, we're
Yeah.
promoting a lot of things that are happening in the city. And if these funds, if 15% is available, then can we hire a graphic designer to put all these things together, to make like a real thing
Right.
where there's, I don't know, t-shirt, something where there's real branding for
Well, yeah, I think
Caminante.
you're looking to get the city to be involved in it, because now that these nonprofits and grassroots efforts have built this,
Yeah.
and it's something that benefits the city, it's time for the city to get involved with it now. I
Yes.
mean, because
We're
these are
doing a lot.
grassroots efforts, and Gail
We're
knows.
doing
you
a
know.
lot already as nonprofits.
Right.
And and the city has a way to do it. They have a marketing,
Department.
machine, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, you wanna get that thing, even, I mean, you can start it, is to do a tour of the Plaza Theater. Because the city already owns that.
Yeah.
It's their building. People keep coming back to that icon and they're hearing that the city is doing something with that property.
What are they doing?
Well,
Renovating it.
they're renovating.
Yeah.
They have
For the
acquired,
past 15
they've already
years.
acquired a lot of the properties around that.
They've acquired all the properties around.
Okay, well, so that,
I already
Yeah.
asked.
yeah. So, again, maybe they can have somebody from that, whoever, that entity that's working on that, to start it off there, because that's all city.
Right.
This is what's happening, here are the rendering,
We're
whatever they, I
gonna
mean,
have to
that,
figure out a way to get them down to the Daphne, because that's also an art
yeah, no,
space.
I'm just saying, yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, to
our
me,
little
once you
website,
got,
we know
once you
that,
got
but
wheels, they can
basically,
go anywhere, they can
We
go
gotta
to,
Right.
make a big one.
But just remember, the cultural district includes the college and down that way
Oh,
and all the
okay.
way down San Bernardo.
San Bernardo.
So, and it would be nice to get
Yeah.
Daphne House included in that
Los
because. it is a little
Olvidados
further.
too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know,
Places.
we're all
Yeah.
kind of right there, and now Daphne's a little over here, and, I mean, and what if we even did like a Saturday, Sunday tour down for the tourist attractions, like all the artesanía, what if we
So
had
much
something like that?
So when did Second Saturdays begin? I haven't heard. I mean, you mentioned it to me before, but I didn't
Yeah, I
know it
hadn't
started
heard it.
I think
happening.
it was supposed to kick off in October, but it's been really steady since like, I think December. And like, the Cold Brew sets up their market there on Saturday. They've got a day market. I think, Jardín also is doing some stuff
Oh,
there.
they're doing markets,
So,
is that
yeah,
what it is?
yes, they're doing those as part of
Okay.
Second Saturday, but they do run into the evenings, but they're happening in the afternoons.
So they're like mercaditos
Right.
and
Kind of.
people showing their wares and
Right.
stuff like that. Okay.
Right, and
Got it.
then a lot of the bigger events are happening because for these same reasons that we're so concentrated in our little block. Like Sandra Rocha Taylor, she starts having bigger stuff on Saturdays down there at Frontera.
Yeah.
And so doing things over there, but yeah, it's just something that started and something that also taking a while for people to get used to, so.
I would really like to do a Sunday.
Yes, I mean, I think that but this is what ends up happening, right? We get all these big ideas and then,
We don't do anything.
right, so I think we're gonna.
okay, so maybe for our next meeting, can you invite whoever from,
Convention district?
So that we
with,
can talk about a
with a
trolley.
specific charge of
Or the
what
trolley.
is it, what is required to get a trolley or
The
two
trolley was so-
to participate in Caminarte? And then secondly, if they can invite somebody who's doing Plaza Theater development to also come talk to us so that we can figure a way to include them in
You could
Caminarte.
invite dancers, flamenco dancers, or.
I'd like to have Tilly say.
In the tour.
They're public.
Bianca
meetings.
has
She
a-
can't come, so I'll have to
Yeah,
Bianca's
because
teaching classes.
if they've already bought those
She's teaching
buildings, it would be nice to take a little
She's
tour of the
teaching
buildings.
flamenco classes.
And what do they have, you know,
Wednesday.
what do they have,
She has two
And
classes.
What's
then
it-
these murals are gonna
And
start
she
to
brought
pop
this
up.
fantastic
Like the
dancer
tours,
to
the
give
utility,
classes to
like,
these
there's
girls.
just gonna be so much more
From
to go
Spain.
out and see. and
Isaac
appreciate.
Tovar, who danced with her at Catalunya.
Yep, so.
Yeah, I think you're right, you know, it's time for the city to kind of get involved with it. We've gotten it as far as we can.
yeah, and see, and if they get involved like
See,
that,
that's what I
then they
think
can
we
develop a
can't
Facebook
just be about
page or an
art. It has to
Instagram
be about
page
dance,
that
music,
all of us would contribute to in terms of
performance. It
the
has to-
content.
Well, it's the calendar that we always,
She's
you know,
doing
struggle with, like, we
Yeah,
can never get a calendar with all the art
No,
information.
but yes,
Every
all this
organization is
a
trying.
mind, a
Yeah.
mind.
You know, what a likelihood
Oh
that
my
can happen.
God.
Do you
I
think?
mean, there's all
There's
these
a
super
city
cool ideas we
calendar,
could be
but I
doing.
don't think people use it with all kinds of.
Yeah, but I
events.
course, now
think
they're
it's
building
like,
homeless
you're
housing
really looking at
on-
like arts and culture catalog, you
In
know,
that-
or a calendar.
That
But what do you
block
think of like
between
doing
me
that?
and the Center for the Arts.
That
They
would probably
already
have to be,
they already demolished the
someone from
building,
outside.
that
Like
building
we
with the
have our
pretty big
website.
doors.
Mhm.
They've already
But
demolished
see, if
the
cities,
interior.
if they get
left the doors
involved, then they
standing.
develop a universal
Homeless
logo,
housing,
a
they sold
universal
it to the
map
Hudson
for
House.
the
That
trolley
whole
that
half
they,
of the
that
block.
they're taking.
That could get updated, because like we do
Don't-
it
in the
grassroots,
cultural
and then
district,
some places close, some people don't participate, sometimes it's really hard to
Well,
maintain it.
this in itself, Maritza,
Yeah.
should be front and
Homeless
center
housing.
in the city with everybody that you're bringing
I
in. It
agree
should be
with
a
you.
huge deal.
I
And it's, again, it's
completely agree.
you're trying to put the show on, do the marketing, and I get it, we face the same challenges. And I know Gail does too, even more so as a for-profit,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
because.
I'm not a nonprofit, but
That's exactly. So,
I have to
who
eat.
Who runs Visit Laredo, or what's that website? Isn't it the CVB?
It's CBB.
So like, I
Convention
feel
Visit.
that should have a calendar, the website's already in place. It
well,
would
I've
just-
started to see more of it, so maybe there's somebody new there because it's popping up more on my radar right now, so maybe there is somebody new there.
Taking
but
care
I-
of the website.
Yeah, because I have noticed it being, and I'm like, well, how come our events aren't kind of, like, who do we talk to? So,
Right.
yeah. And we all get funding if you receive third-party funding to do advertising out of town. But we could work with the city, like, where do you know, what airports or maximize those funds, you know? I mean, come on, we're all struggling to get people here.
You know, Gail and I were talking about the possibility of, including dancers and,
yeah,
uh,
like performance.
performances.
Music, dance.
Music,
I know this-
poetry.
I mean, imagine.
We scare everybody.
Open mic.
I
Yeah, we
would
go
say,
upstairs.
what if we
We
had a
scare
mime
everybody.
contest?
That is awesome. That
What
would
if we had a mime contest?
Oh my God.
What if we had
The new street shirt?
And Mexican Mike.
Don't you think that would be cute? A mime contest?
You're asking the wrong person.
No knowledge of that.
But look at what you're asking us, look what you're wearing and you're asking us. There's something you
Okay, wait a second, Gail.
There's something you want to tell us? But
No, but
yes.
I mean, here we are brainstorming, but all these little ideas come up and everything. And I agree, she says, what if we had like flamenco? I said, Bianca has a
Yeah.
flamenco, she's teaching flamenco to students. They could have a student flamenco thing. And it's not just Bianca, there's other people who teach flamenco. Yolanda's daughter and ¿cómo se llama? Cristina Greco. And I mean, we have.
There's just so much we
My
can
son
do.
says, I
But
mean,
we need
don't
help
know.
from the city.
Yeah, the city, yeah, maybe it's time, maybe it is time, and I don't even think, I know that we have asked individuals for different support, but not this kind of support for it. So that's a good
And
push,
just-
instead of like not waiting for a district, for a specific district, but this is a citywide, we're benefiting the city, the work that we're doing benefits the city.
Absolutely.
You know, and so, even like street performers, during
One of the things we could do, we could invite the council members to sit with us in a conversation. So let them know how excited we are,
That's
that these are all the things that we're looking at as, as our commission, and see how much they're willing to come in and support us.
Or even invite them to a caminarte so they can see what's happening. I don't think a lot of these people even know what's
Yeah.
happening
And
downtown.
we could do the first bus ride for them.
Yeah.
And their
Ah,
people,
nice.
before, like, just show them what it would
Yes.
actually be like
Absolutely.
without the rest of the
Yeah.
community, they're just them, so that they could see it.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
And
idea.
then
Yeah.
sit them down somewhere and talk
Well,
about all
and
these
that's based on what
additional
Leadership
ideas.
Laredo used to do back in the 80s.
Yeah.
If you joined that thing, they would take you on the city would provide a bus, and they would take us to every
Yes,
district.
the tour.
And so you could say, okay, well, if you're from this part of town, you've never seen it, and then, there were people like, I never knew this existed.
There's still
Yeah.
people that don't know that we're doing caminarte. We all bust our backs every month.
Exactly.
And there are people like, you're doing that? I'm like, what?
That's
Yes.
exactly where I'm coming from.
I get
It's
it.
like, I
I get
know
it.
all the work that goes into what
Yeah.
we're doing,
Remember
but
the
it's like,
beautiful
we
trolley?
can only do so much.
Right.
Yes.
You
We
know?
tap our resources and we're the same
Yeah.
people.
And I love the idea of inviting the city council member on the first bus ride, which is gonna happen, or trolley, or train, or whatever.
We want
Because
it to
we
be
still
the
have to
top.
convince them as a
Yes.
commission, like, everything we're talking about, it's great, but we still have to convince them, they're the ones that are gonna vote.
Just know that the public art funds cannot be used for something like this.
Right, yes, and that's where
That's where the
the
third party
are
funding,
at.
that's where the hotel motel
Yeah.
Might
money
come
can
in.
come in.
Yeah, we have to use
Right.
other monies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's even with those investors that are coming into downtown, we've extended an invitation to them to come to our caminarte so that they can see, we're, at the center, we're launching this big, huge sponsorship campaign. But if you don't see it, then how are you gonna be able to sell it to somebody else, you know, and, yeah, I think Talissa would be very relieved to hear that there's gonna be a more support to to help her get the things that we need to get done.
Well,
for
yeah,
our
because I
downtown.
mean, we're all volunteers,
Right.
basically.
Right,
You know, Laredo got they went through all the motions to get the Laredo Cultural District, and the city of Laredo is building homeless housing, right across the street from me now, on half of that block, and I don't understand, that's the Laredo Cultural District, what's going on
Well,
here?
that's gonna be.
yeah,
also
right across from the center, yeah, I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking about the arts and, the
Yeah.
spine of the arts and cultural
Yeah.
district.
That's right there.
It's supposed to be a really nice project where it's gonna have, you know, training and work development and really help to work to transition people back into,
Well,
you know,
that's
society.
fine, but
I-
that, they don't stay inside anywhere.
I understand.
There's
I
no
don't-
place for them to be inside.
Yeah.
They have housing at that structure limited, and then all the rest of those people are lying on the streets.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's definitely been challenging down there, to say the
yes,
least.
and why didn't they think of making the whole thing someplace else where there was plenty of room to expand? There's no room there to expand. So, I don't know.
They'll be out on the street as usual.
And, you know, I'm not complaining that, I mean, I feel for them, but I'm right next door to the Bethany House. They don't have bathrooms where they can use the bathroom. Where do you think they're using the bathroom?
Oh, I know exactly.
Yeah,
what it is.
exactly.
I mean, honestly, I never know what I'm gonna find on the steps to go into the gallery. And sometimes there's animals too, you know? I just don't think the city is aware of what is going on. I don't think they are.
Well, and it's such a part of the tourism, it's like the one tourism attraction that we actually have.
Yeah.
Aside from annual events, but this is an every month event that we do that attracts tourism and people, and I think they would be horrified to see if this is what people are seeing. But that's
Yeah,
for another
so-
meeting.
Okay, well, I think that was the last part of our
Yes.
agenda. The next part is the scheduling of the next meeting.
And it's scheduled for March 15th, the third Thursday of the month.
March 15th.
So at the next meeting, I'm just, wanting to ask, should we,
So we'll have somebody from this, the
Oh, no,
business.
sorry, the 21st.
The
oh, the
21st?
21st,
Yeah,
yeah.
15th.
Is
Gotta
that,
remind
is
us.
that over spring break? When is spring break?
Oh, God, did you know? You're
No,
kidding.
it's a week before, I believe.
Is
The
it?
week
Oh,
before,
I
it's
think it's a
spring
week
break.
before.
Okay, so we're here on the
If for any chance it might be, maybe we can move it to the following.
It's a week before what? Oh, spring break.
Yeah.
So maybe via email.
It's the 14th of March,
Yes.
Thursday.
That's spring break.
That's the day of our meeting.
No,
Oh,
no,
it's
no,
the
no,
21st.
the 21st.
21st, okay.
It's a week before spring break.
So maybe over email, we prepare for the utility box presentation for the next city council meeting? Because if that's on the 18th, it's before our meeting. Right?
Yeah, it's a Monday. Well, maybe we can get together.
And we'll drive around the van.
Yeah, let's do it, hey. I have a Forerunner, we all fit.
Yeah.
I do,
We
I
should
want to drive
really
around.
schedule, let's really schedule that day
Let's
to do
do.
that. Like right now, let's
I
schedule
agree,
it so we can,
because-
so that we know we're gonna do it. We've got a commitment to each other.
What do you want to
that we're gonna
schedule,
do it.
driving around the back?
Yep.
Okay,
And because we're gonna present to city council,
Tell
so
me
that'll
when.
be good to be
tell
more
me where.
prepared.
So, all right, let me look at my calendar.
So where are we? We're in.
Sorry guys, I'm really tired.
As long as you don't have a quorum when you're doing it.
Right.
We're going two separate cars.
Yeah.
We can't have a quorum when we do it.
No, you can't be meeting like in this full, it's considered a,
An
yeah,
open-
violate
oh,
open
you
meeting.
can
You mean if they're all my best friends, they can't come to my birthday party?
That's supposed to. Well, that's what I was
You're
talking about.
It'll be
considered
considered a meeting.
as a capacity of the commission.
So I was laughing when we were all in the elevator last night for our board
Get
meeting.
off,
I
get
go,
off.
This is an illegal meeting. It's just like, but anyway, yeah.
Don't worry, we'll bring somebody who's not in my group.
Right, very good.
I don't.
The driver.
I don't get
Well,
Oh, you can be together for a social.
Well, it's a social.
Yeah.
We'll have
You're
cocktails.
working on
I was
something.
thinking next year.
No, we're not working, we're just gonna.
We're not
be
taking any
voting.
votes,
Uh-huh.
and we're not
It's not a
expending any
meeting.
money.
We're not gonna be voting, we're gonna be looking.
Yeah.
So what days work better for you?
Possibilities.
Huh?
What days work better for you?
Mondays are the worst for me for anything.
Okay, so, are Wednesdays good?
Yeah,
Like Wednesday, what do I have Wednesday, oh no, I've got a part meeting Wednesday, Thursday the seventh?
we're
March,
talking about March 7th?
March seventh, which is next,
Sure.
it's a week after next, in
Yeah.
2 weeks. Does that work for everybody else,
Okay.
or anybody that wants to participate?
What time would
March.
this be at?
March 7th is what day?
I think,
It's Thursday.
yes,
Thursday.
But during the daytime?
I think yeah, so we
It's
can
having-
see.
No, I'm
So-
saying, okay, I need to block out my time.
So we can
What
say-
time? Do we have a time more or less?
Gail, you tell
Gail,
me what
you're
works
in the
for you, my
morning,
schedule's flexible.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it in the morning, cause I can work from home and just, I have an office phone where I can check my email and do stuff
Not
like
too
that.
early in the morning, Gail.
No.
Like
I mean,
style.
I believe-
I'm not
I
a
can
morning
always
person.
check my email on my office phone, so which is the most important thing that I have to do every day.
Okay.
So that's not a problem.
And maybe it would help if we could look in our districts and kind of identify some
Yeah.
places so that we're not just kind of out there. And Mondo, if you want to send us some places to go look at, or you're gonna look on your own?
I'm gonna call a council member,
Okay, and have that.
I'll just try with him.
Okay,
Cause
perfect.
cause it's like 3 or 4 per district, so I'm sure he has
Already
a
knows.
quick idea.
I just feel concerned about all the other districts that have nobody
I know.
representing them. And you know what, one of the,
Can't
I
we
don't know if you,
recommend people?
that's what I wanna do. I don't know if you noticed, and I'm trying to remember who it was, that has both, they have a degree in fine arts in art, and he's presented his artwork, and he's a writer, he's a poet. So I'm thinking, okay, if he doesn't get selected, which he wasn't, maybe I can call him and ask him if he would join us
Yes.
as a member.
Some of those other people too.
And they could come in and,
Yeah, why not that guy? That sounds good.
we need to fill these
I agree.
ASAP. That's why I talked
What
to him.
happened with the lady they took off and then the guy actually got
Well,
the,
that's why we're down another one.
cause that person left.
Yeah, Mr. Vazquez.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was, all the people that
And
were.
he was very
appointed
enthusiastic.
Oh,
by-
he was.
Well, you know what,
terminated.
I can call, I know most of the council members. I can call them and give his name.
Doesn't he work for the city?
Oh.
Gateway.
Gateway, yeah,
Gateway,
yeah,
community.
Gateway.
Yeah.
Okay, but then the
I
other
can
one,
contact Vanessa and-
this other poet laureate candidate would be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who is this, Jorge?
I don't know, it's one that has a fine arts degree in both art and, he's a poet. I mean, in literacy.
Yes, it's not Rudy, it's the other guy.
One of them.
Anselmo, no?
Anselmo.
Anselmo works for the
Anselmo?
diocese of Laredo. He does the la fe and everything.
Oh, he's busy.
Well, we all are busy.
We
I'm
all are
lying.
busy.
I'm lying. I'm
Anselmo
retired doing
Barreros.
nothing.
He's business development marketing, okay, he's, what's he doing, legal consultant, political marketing?
No, he works for,
strategy.
right now he works for the diocese of,
Yeah, I
There's
see
one
that.
that has fine arts degree in both, and his artwork has been, he has exhibited his art, and I said, wow.
that's Jorge Santana.
That's, that's
Jorge's really, really great, and he's a really hard worker, and he's on the cultural district board with us, so it would be good to have.
But
that-
can he be?
The cultural district is not a commission, it's just a
Okay,
board, yeah.
because.
And then he also is with Webb County, it's not the Heritage, but it's,
They can't
Webb
be
County.
two.
It's not a commission, he's just on another nonprofit, just like the mayor, just like
Nonprofit, okay.
I
Monday,
don't have-
Muddy,
okay,
Because I asked Gabby, and Gabby's ready to step in, he says, but I'm in another one, but I'm getting out. So I said, oh, Gabby, I'm gonna call you and see if maybe he wants to join us.
Well, he was in before, the
Yeah.
very beginning.
Yeah, but he was.
And he just got nominated for the art, what?
Advocate for the.
Yes,
Advocate
yes,
of the
they're
year.
having a big thing tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, let me see, I know, there was.
It's this guy, Jorge Santana,
Okay,
Yeah.
then definitely,
that's the guy.
that's somebody, and maybe, I think, some Visita Silvia sounds great.
Oh, yeah, she does too.
He also became like a board meeting of Light Productions.
Okay. Are we ready?
Like we're all over the place.
I know.
Yeah.
Are we
there a
we-
motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I second.
All of those in favor?
Fair, aye.
Okay.